Welcome to the DY Prods channel. I'm your guy, DY Fly. What it do? Listen, there is so much stuff to go over. We're going to get straight to it. I wish I could play my intro, but y'all be acting all funny or whatever, clicking off the video and shit. So here we go. First, we're going to do some house cleaning. We are up to 27 subscribers. What?
This is culturally inappropriate.
That's right. I woke up one day and I had 20 extra subscribers. So shout out to you for rocking with your boy. I appreciate it. You know, we moving. All right. Two things though. I'm going to tell you, this is not strictly an Eagles channel, and I'm not going to be reporting on the Eagles. All right. So if you're looking for someone to get straight to the news, get straight to the point, and, you know, tell you who has back spasms or whatever, this is not the channel for you. All right. I'm just letting you know now. So that's your fair warning. Number two. All right. This is a production studio right here. All right. I have buttons. This is DY Prods. That means DY Productions. That means I got buttons on buttons on buttons, and everything comes from the mind of me, from the thumbnails to the editing. If I do any videos like that, all of it. I do all of it, all right? Sometimes I call my boys, if they produce music, I'll say, yo, let me get that track, and I might use their track. Like my boy Grussel. He's an Eagles fan. Shout out to Gruss. But yeah, man, I'm just letting you know that this channel was made because I just, you know, just like you, I have takes, and I'll be chopping it up with my folks, with my boys or whatever. And I just wanted to put my takes on wax. Like, you know, sometimes you chop it up with your boys and you be calling stuff, and sometimes they remember, and then sometimes they act like they got amnesia. So that's why I made this channel. But getting to the news of the day, Micah Parsons, before I hit record, because I was going to address the Terry McLaurin thing, and then, you know, some things started to trickle out about Micah Parsons. It is official. Micah Parsons has requested a trade out of Dallas. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, yo. This is
crazy work.
Look, personally, I don't want him to get traded, okay? I know this sounds contrary unless we get him, and I don't want to give up Nolan Smith for him, but we'll get to that. But I don't want him to get traded. The reason why is because Micah Parsons is petty, okay? We've kind of seen this. Micah Parsons is petty, and I want him to stay. I want him to sign, but I also want, you know, say if he's feeling it that day, and let's say he just happens to get past Lane Johnson. He just so happens to get past Jordan Mailata on one play, right? And he's about to come up on jalenhurts, and he's about to hit him. I want it to cross his mind that this sack would make Jerry happy. This would bring some satisfaction to Jerry. And then I know Michael would pull up. I know Michael would pull up because he's petty. He's petty, man. I don't want him to get traded. I want him to stay and be miserable where he is. Cause he would do us a solid, you know? Just like when he was trolling when we beat him down, and he was like, you know, if you take away those 5, 6, 7 big plays, we would have won the game. He was trolling, man. He was trolling. Micah ain't lost his mind that much. He was trolling. So he's petty. I would like to, I want him to stay there and be miserable. Would you trade a first round pick and Nolan Smith for Micah Parsons? No. If we do anything with the first round pick, it needs to be for a cornerback, period, point blank. All right. But some of the things, we'll read this real quick from what Micah Parsons had to say. He said, yes, I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team once again. Oh, he doesn't even believe that the Cowboys are America's team anymore. Oh, you know who is America's team? You know who is America's team?
Bling bling all in your face. I think you might need to put on your shades.
That's right. That's right. And he continues, the team my pops and I grew up cheering for way up in Harrisonburg, PA. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed door negotiations without my agent being present. I no longer want shots taken at me for being injured while laying it on the line for organization or fans and my teammates. Oh, I no longer want narratives created and spread to the media about me. I had purposely stayed quiet in hopes of getting something done, but since there is confusion out there, let me clear some things up. Yeah, I'm not reading all that. All right. Then he goes on to say, up until today, the team has not had a single conversation with my agent about a contract. Not one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything else. Still, I stayed quiet, but again, after repeated shots at myself and all the narratives, I have made a tough decision, and I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. Where are the commas? My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally. Oh. All right. So that's where everything stands with Micah. I want him to stay there and be miserable. That's personally me. All right. If we can get him I don't believe that we're going to get him because it's a in division trade. Dallas would be asinine to make that trade. All right. If we can get him as a free agent, then cool. But I don't think we would get that trade. And look, Diana Rossini, she says the Dallas Cowboys have no intentions of trading Micah Parsons per sources. Still, teams around the league are planning to reach out to check his availability today. So that's where it is. I don't think the Cowboys are going to trade him, but we're going to find out. All right, we're going to find out. Let's move on to Scary Terry. We're going to talk about all of this. All right. So ajbrown says that Micah wants to play in Philly. I believe it. Yeah. Last night, somewhere close to the evening, Terry McLaurin asked for a trade. It's it's real ugly out here. It's real ugly out here. Is this what are the Commanders thinking right now? Are they trying to make a push? I seen something crazy. Yeah, look at this. It said, by my count, this offseason, the Commanders signed, traded for, and re-signed 20 players who are either already 30 plus years of age or who will turn 30 by the time the Super Bowl is played in February 2026. Gotta draw the line at Terry McLaurin, though. Oh.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't understand it. Terry McLaurin, he wants to be paid for what he's done, all right? And I feel him, yo. He gave this city some sort of hope when there was no hope to be had. And he wants like prime wide receiver money. I don't know why he's asking for that. Maybe it's the guaranteed money that's a little bit off, but you know, I was thinking, what if they trade Terry, try to get maybe like a second or whatever, maybe a cornerback or something, and they go after someone like Amari Cooper. And then I get on Twitter, and this is what's going on. After 9 NFL seasons, former Bills, all those teams, Amari Cooper has decided to retire. He said this Friday morning. Oh my God. Well, first, shout out to Amari Cooper. He got to play 9 NFL seasons. He was a route technician. I remember when the Raiders got him, we were like, yo, this dude was going to be the truth, yo. He had a couple drop issues early in his career, but he turned out to be a really solid wide receiver. I don't think as good as the prospect of him was, but he was good. He was good. So shout out to Amari Cooper. But he's gone. That's an option that the Commanders had on the table, and that seems to not be there anymore. So we look at, hold up.
Those haters can't stand us. Left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders.
Shut the fuck up!
Simple Simon ass motherfuckers.
Shut your raggedy ass up and sit the fuck down.
Yeah, yo. It's a wrap for y'all. I will say though, I get on YouTube and I see the content creators that make that follow each team, more for fantasy, but they follow each team and they check in on each NFL camp. And whenever there's a Washington Redskins camp, guess whose name keep popping up? Jalen Lane. The video usually starts and ends with Jalen Lane. So, they probably told Terry, we're not paying you. We're not paying you that number. Do you see what this kid is doing? Every single practice, he's cooking out there, mossing people. They're not playing that game, and this may or may not come back to bite the Commanders in the ass. I hope it does. Can't stand them niggas, yo.
Shut the fuck up!
So much stuff. Yeah, man. And if this is the last target that Terry gets as a Redskins, Quinyon, he might get a button, yo. He might get a button. Quinyon might get a button. And we're getting reports that Quinyon's hands, they work. His hands work. He ain't got bricks for hands. Yeah. Quinyon might get. I like Quinyon Obey. I just need a proper sound. I need a proper sound effect to go under that. So we're gonna see. Yeah, Garrett, my man Garrett, he already crossed off Terry McLaurin's name off the depth chart, yo. He's done. He's done out here. Get him out. Yeah, man. Luke McCaffrey, he ain't it. Noah Brown, he's solid. Michael Gallup, he's burnt toast. Debo, Jalen Lane, they gonna have to make something shake. So, and Ben Sinnott, he was a pretty decent. They spent some pretty decent draft capital on him last year, and he's third on the depth chart. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. But let's talk about the game last night. There was football. There was a football game last night. The Chargers versus the Lions, and Trey Lance. He looked like a quarterback. He looked like an NFL quarterback. He looked like he could play. One play Trey made more than one play. Now, this is an indictment on Kyle Shanahan, to me. Okay? To me. Which I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna keep beating this drum until it's true. And it is true because I said it. The whole Shanahan tree is supremely overrated, yo. Supremely overrated. I can't stand none of them dudes except one. One of them's good. But Kyle Shanahan, overrated. Sean McVay, overrated. Mike McDaniel, I think people know that he's not a good head coach, but he might be overrated as a play caller, right? He's a good schemer for the run game. Mike McDaniel is, but we know that he's not a good head coach, but he might be overrated as a coordinator. All right, but he's a good schemer of plays. Like, you can draw plays up and make them work, whatever. Kevin O'Connell, he's solid. He's solid. And I think he's the best play caller in the league. All right. He made Sam Darnold look like he was an NFL quarterback. He could turn water into wine. That's what I say. All right. And, you know, personally, I think we're going to see the Vikings in the NFC Championship. I think we're going to see the Vikings in the NFC Championship, and we will play the Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl. Yes, that's what I think. So we're going to play purple. We're going to have to smack the purple off of Minnesota, playing the whitest team in America. Then we're going to have to smack the purple off of the Ravens, playing the blackest team in America, the Baltimore Ravens, all right? Just smacking purple off of these teams. So that's what I say about that. Let's see. We're gonna get to the Eagles stuff in a minute. We're gonna finish up with that, but this is what Cam Ward had to say. Man, the Titans got themselves one. Let me.
I'd say yesterday, I've grown up, watched my dad wake up at 4:30 doing a job he didn't like. So, you know, if I can't wake up early and do what I need to do for a job I do like, I shouldn't be playing football. And that goes for everybody in the locker room. If you can't have the expectation for yourself that you want to be whether a good or a great player and want to put the work in, I just think that's how it should go. I just think good things only come to those who work.
This is the first time we talked.
Listen. Yeah. He's one of them ones. He's one of them ones. And the Titans, they should be ecstatic for what they got right now. They've had to deal with Ryan Tannehill, Will Levis in the past couple years. Just, you know, booty juice. Just terrible, yo. And I play fantasy. I love fantasy. I'm going to be targeting his wide receivers. All right. Calvin Ridley, he's going up. He's going up this season. And whoever they decide to draft in the next 2 years or so, I'm targeting them too. Because Cam Ward, he's got a cannon on him, you know? So, yeah. We doing that right there. NFL Red Zone seems to have agreed to move to ESPN, right? Dave Klobman says, RIP to commercial-free football. ESPN is rumored to be bringing ads to NFL Red Zone. The golden age of being a football fan has come to an end. Listen, man, the Red Zone is dead. It's dead. Anything Disney touches, it goes to dirt, yo. It goes to dirt. So we're not rocking with this. It's okay though. We had our time. Just like every good thing, all good things come to an end. So it's okay. If you were there to enjoy it, then cool. Let's see. let's see what Chris Canty has to say about Joe Burrow.
He's not an elite quarterback, and we've got to get out of this.
Canty.
We've got to get out of this thing where we want to anoint everybody an elite quarterback.
Who's everybody?
I'm just saying, we can't give the runner-up to the runner-up to the runner-up elite quarterback status. There ain't but 3 spots on the medal stand. When we start talking about the podium, it's a gold medal spot, it's a silver medal spot, and it's a bronze medal spot.
Okay.
All right? The 4th place guy don't get an acknowledgement. And that's where I'm at with the Joe Burrow of it all. I think when you look at the big 3,
real niggas is tired of Joe Burrow, yo. Real niggas is tired of Joe Burrow. I've been tired of it. All right, I'm just glad somebody got the balls to say it on national television. Now, we all know that Cam, he's going to be cooning and buffooning as he does. All right, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something about him in a second. But Chris Canty, he deserves a raise. You go to the comments, they're like, oh, is he going to be fired or whatever? Tired of Joe Burrow, yo. He got the best wide receiver duo in the league, right? Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Andre Yoshivas. He had like 6 or 7 touchdowns last year. They drafted a dude out of Alabama, Jerome Burton, right? Mike Gesicki, right? They just signed Noah Fant. What's the problem? Get it done. You know, the same lies that they use to try to pull Jalen Hurts down, that they try to, are the same lies that they use to prop Joe Burrow up. And that's where I'm at. That's why we're tired of it. So shout out to Chris Canty for keeping it real, keeping it 1,000. So let's continue. Let's hear what he has to say.
Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game on his way to losing the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, that doesn't give you elite status.
Okay.
There's so much truth that just hit, that washed over Cam, that he doesn't even know how to respond. You know? That's what happens. When you hit somebody, when the truth hurts, the truth is like, it's like Buckley's, right? The truth is like Buckley's. That cough syrup, it's the worst tasting cough syrup ever. But it's effective. You'll feel better in the morning. Tastes nasty, but you'll feel better in the morning. That's what truth is like. And Cam doesn't know how to respond. Let's continue.
The audacity, since I got to match fire with fire. I thought you was giving it away because you had the orange and black, Apple Watch. I was like, oh, okay, you about to come around, go with the Bengals. But if it's not Joe Shiesty, who else? Because when you watch Joe Burrow in the pocket, he knows he's going to get hit. He knows he doesn't have the offensive line to really sustain and hold up. But still, and yet, he's still delivering. Now, if you give Joe Burrow, as you know, Mr. Chris Canty, I need you to do your job on the defensive line so I can do my job as an offense, too.
Sure.
He's doing his job, but he needs other people to do their job. If you give Joe Burrow a top 50.
Why does he need all that? If he's that much better than my quarterback, why does he need all these great things around him? He already has the best wide receiver duo. You know, Eagles fans, don't come at me. We're giving it to the Bengals. We're giving it to Joe Burrow. We're giving it to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. You know why? Because I don't want any excuses for why he misses the playoffs for a 3rd straight year. Get it done. We gonna barbecue him back. We gonna barbecue him like this, like it's the 4th of July. If he misses the playoffs for a 3rd straight year, I can't wait for it.
15. Heaven forbid a top 10 defense. Where would they be then?
They went to the Super Bowl and got smacked.
His defense that he played with this year is atrocious. It goes without saying. His stat line, and everybody keep talking about, ain't this from the dude that talking about I ain't giving no Super Bowl back for MVP? Yes! Joe Burrow did his job. You do your job better than the opposing person doing their job. Like I said yesterday, you need 11 guys doing one thing the best of their ability, not one guy doing 11. Joe Burrow held his end of the bargain up. Now, as far as his defense, they failed him, and they know that. And it's embarrassing to even say that a guy who put up those type of numbers doesn't have nothing to show for it because the inability of his counterparts.
Even Stephen A. Snitch is looking at him like, man, look,
Shut the fuck up!
Simple Simon-ass motherfuckers.
Shut your raggedy ass up and sit the fuck down.
Yeah, Cam, we tired of Cam. Look, sometimes you got to know the person who's giving these takes, all right? And I've crossed paths with Cam kind of back in the day. Like one of my exes used to do the makeup of his wife, right? His wife or his baby moms or whatever you want to call her. But when you get to the core of who a person is, it's easy to see why they need attention, right? Or who they are and why they say what they say and why they do what they do. Cam, he wants a hug. He wants a hug. He needs a hug. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. All right? Yeah, yo. Look at this. Look at this. Remember when Cam Newton came back? He came back for 2 weeks, started screaming in the camera, I'm back. Right? He's about me. He already said that he wouldn't trade in his Super Bowl or his regular season MVP for a Super Bowl. He doesn't want to be a champion. He wants the limelight to be on him. Even if it's for 15 minutes. That's what he'd rather do. All right. We can't take that man serious.